Okay, Gary Alicio here. This video is about tuning the ejector wire to help the feeding issues that sometimes arise with these Tikka T1x rifles. This ejector wire works by applying side force to the case as it's pulled out of the chamber, and it basically acts like a little spring, and it forces the case out of the ejection port. It, though also, because of the nature of its design, it applies side force to the cartridge as it's going into the chamber. And if it's applying too much side force, it will prevent the cartridge from sliding up the bolt face, the back of the cartridge, from sliding up the bolt face and aligning with the chamber. And that causes issues where the bullet will actually shave lead going into the chamber. So the idea here is to have enough force to eject the case, but not excessive side force to prevent smooth feeding. Some guys will put a little bend in it about 1/3 of the way up here. I've found that bending it back here seems to work better in the back here. I've bent it so there's about a 1/4 inch gap between this side and the ejector wire itself. And that seems to have adequate force to eject an empty case, and it doesn't seem to interfere with feeding of at all. It actually seems to feed pretty well. The one caveat I would say is if the ejection is a little weaker than it was originally, but it's adequate, and that's just the way it works. If this is too far out, you'll have strong ejection but poor feeding. If it's too far in, you'll have good feeding but poor ejection. So there's kind of a balance point you have to reach to make it work. It seems to me about a 1/4 inch here seems to work okay. Anyway, I'll put it in and I'll demonstrate that for you. Okay, so I've inserted a magazine, 10 rounds in it. If you own one of these, you know that 10 rounds is a really tight fit. You can get them in there, but it's tight. I'm indoors, so I'm not going to fully close the bolt on this. I'm just going to demonstrate how the cartridge will slide up the bolt face and align with the chamber, and then I'll eject it so you can see what I'm talking about here. So see that? See how it popped up and now it's in line with the chamber? And it'll go in, see, just like that. So I'm not going to go all the way in, I'm just going to eject. Here's the next one. See how it popped up and it's in line with the chamber? Popped up like that. I'm not using a ton of force to... Now, one thing about this particular magazine, it doesn't have a whole lot of strength in the magazine springs, so the last round will hang up.